Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage.
Here's my next restoration, the Dinky Toys Humber Hawk. Now this has previously been restored. As you can see, it's quite heavily chipped on the edges. I think that's because it's been in a scrapper box maybe. Nonetheless, the glass does look really good because of that. The tyres look okay. And that's partly how I know it's already been restored. It's already been drilled out. As you can see, rusty base plate there, quite new looking tyres. Well, here is our Dinky Toys Humber Hawk off the turntable. It is the subject of a previous resto. Base comes off quite easily. It's rusty underneath. The tyres look newer than the model. There's a bit of corrosion on that wheel compared to that. Same at this side, so I wonder if it's had two new wheels at some point. Should be able to tidy those up. We'll need to take those off. Anyway, glass looks really good. Let's see if we can get it out. It has been glued in at some point. Not sure what with, but it's not damaged the visible glass, so we can tidy that up, put it back together. They're at one side, and anyway, you can see castings all okay. You can see previous glue and paint marks there. That is going to tidy up quite nicely. So the thing for this will be to get these tyres and wheels off and get them in the caustic soda next. I was just cleaning up our Humber Hawk, and there was quite a lot of paint on the top after it came out of the caustic. So I was rubbing it down with some 120 because it was quite thick, and I thought, there's a hole in the roof. Sure enough, there is. You can see the remains of it that side too. This Humber Hawk was the Dinky police car version, so that's what I'm going to take it back to. Amazing what you find. I'm guessing somebody probably did it because they didn't have the top part, the siren, etc. So we'll see where we go. Okay, let's see if we can get a hole in this Humber Hawk. This might just go straight through, and it has done. So there we go. One police car rescued. One spare part will fit with a bit of effort, and we've got ourselves a police car. And actually I don't mind that because I was going to do this two-tone. I couldn't make my mind up on the top colour, white, ivory white with a maroon on the bottom. It's now going to be black. Twists and turns on these models sometimes. The rear top wings going to need some super glue on them because they're a bit pitted. I don't know if I move that slowly if you can see that. You can see there around the outside. I think that's original, that's all okay. Not sure about, yeah, the doors did open funny on these, I've just remembered, so that's part of the door. And the thing that made me wonder if it wasn't was it's lost a bit on this side, but that is a genuine mark. Now the front of the bonnet may be coming down from the badge. That's a casting line. And across there, I'll have to look at Google Images to check that. The front of that, so that's from there, that bit, and that bit. I don't think they should be there. They're the main ones. Everything else looks really quite sound apart from the rear. Now looks like the original casting had some lights on it. They've long gone, so we'll just have to do our best with that.
as you can see, our Humber Hawk's getting tidied up. Now I've just got to chop the end off this police sign, so I'm just going to go old school. And she's off. This needs a bit of filing. But what I want to do is fit that onto our Humber Hawk before paint, because that is painted black as well. I don't want to do it after paint. I'm going to get a coat of primer on here, and we'll see what it looks like after that. I'm also missing an aerial, but looking good on the Humber Hawk. Right, so we'll just stick this this light on. Police sign. Got a bit of super glue around it. For it pointing the other way, actually. Just looking above that. Make sure it's sort of square. What we'll do is we'll let that dry and we'll drop super glue round so it's perfect fit. I don't like the gaps on my lights, as you probably know. This is the glass of our Humber Hawk, and as you can see it is heavily glued as well. So just start on that with a bit of 400. The visible bits, there's a crack there. Side's okay, rear's okay. Now front, yeah, that's a rear. We might get away with that. And there's a hole where the police sign comes through. Right, that's going to take a while. I'll get back to you. As you can see, we're back with our Humber Hawk, and we've just got to take these wheels off before we put the base in the caustic soda. Now looking at it, it's this side and this one that are the finished. So let's see how much spare we've got. To be honest, not a lot. Not a lot at all. Push it any further, that's as far as I can push it. So here we go. Right, the base is clear of the wheels. That can go in the caustic soda. Put some super glue round the police sign. That's setting nicely. This has got a bit of super glue on the dings that were in the wing. It's been polished and is ready for primer when that glue's set. Here is our Humber Hawk police car, and just here there's a casting line that I've been unable to get to with a file or a piece of paper, so I'm going to use a little engraving tool. Right, this one's not going to wobble, vibrate as much, so what I'm going to do, get it where I want it, switch it on. And that's done the job quite nicely, if you can see there. Clean the glass up as much as possible. There is a crack there, there's not a lot I can do about it. I'm just going to give it a clean with some hot salt before dunking it in the floor polish, and we will see how we go. Anyway, you see, front's come up really nice, as have the sides. Still got that crack at the rear, not much I can do about that. A few marks, may have been on the inside, so just doing the inside as well. And that is ready for dunking. And there she goes. Just put it somewhere safe to dry. Okay, we've just got a bit of wire wool on the end of a drill. Of course, you don't have to use wire wool, you could just use a piece of emery cloth. Anyway, I can see the difference, coming quite clean, so I'll continue with that. Right, we can turn our attention to the wheels now, and as you can see, quite badly corroded, or they've got a lot of dirt on them. I'm not sure what the best way of moving that is at the moment, so I'm just going to put them down, try and give them a rub, some emery with some wire wool, see if that makes any difference. Making some difference. I think what I'll do is I'll get the Dremel on them. That's what I'll do with an attachment. Okay, the first thing, we've got the leftover of one of those cleaning brushes. We'll try that on here. Certainly making some difference. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, that's probably the right way to go about it. Well, one of the right ways. There's always more than one way of doing everything. And what we'll do is we'll get some auto sol on them and see how that goes. Right, here goes with a bit of auto sol. And as you can see, that's doing the trick. Is delivering. Just need to get into the grooves, but we'll do them all like that, and then I'll get back to you. We've got the tyres to look at yet. Unfortunately, one of these wheels has flown off into infinity somewhere in the garage, so I'm going to have to take a spares model Rolls Royce, which as you can see has a totally destroyed roof, to get the wheels off this. But the polishing was going okay. I just didn't have the grip on the pliers I thought I had, and off it went. Actually, the tyres on this are just as good as well. So I won't bore you with the taking off of that, but this is going to be a donation vehicle. As you can see, we have now got some shiny wheels. In the end, it was back to the old-fashioned ways. Dip the stick into some odd salt, just get round and round. Less risk of them flying off into the distance, never to be seen again. And we will have 4 shiny wheels. Well, here we are with our Humber Hawk. She's out of paint. I did damage post when I was drilling it out, so I've got a post fixer to glue on. I have tried the glass, and that hole just needs a little widening. So I'm just going to give it a little widening, because I put that new sign on there. And that may well do that, so we'll try that. Yeah, so the glass is in fine now. That's one job done. So the next job will be to get this post sorted. So here we go with the post. I'm just going to smear a little bit of super glue around the edges. I've got a piece of fairly thick tin foil from the top of a coffee jar. Just going to put that in. Bit of super glue on this hand, but that doesn't matter. I'll have to wash it in a second. And I've just bent that round and put that back down now. Give my hand a clean, because if that gets on the paint, that's back to square one. Right, we just have to use a chrome pen to do the aerial. I don't want it to be black. There, that dries off pretty quick, then that can go in. What we've got to do first is pin these wheels onto the axles. Right, this one's pinned over enough to put back on now. Right, that one's pinned on now. It's not going to come off. What I'll do is I'll start the other one off the chassis and put it on when it gets close. Okay, they're now pinned over. As you can see, job I hate, but it is done. So we can now rescue our tyres. Here they are. So just give the tyres a dry off. They've still got a lot of silicone on them. Then we can pop them on the wheels. So here we go. It's a fairly warm day in the garage, 18 degrees. Back to nice weather in the UK. Back from heavy rain, of course, which we're still getting. There we are. Okay, we're ready to put the glass in our Humber Hawk. And just got a bit of Gorilla Glue, as you can see. It's a bit round that post there. It was heavily glued in before. Right, so we've got that there. So what we can do is just a little dollop around there. And in that hole that was there before. Well, we're at the detailing. So I've got a Frio brush. I've tipped some chrome paint out, and we're going to get to it. Right, that's not gone too bad actually. I think I'll just leave that there before I try and do anything else for a second or two. Right, we're back with our Humber Hawk. Did one headlight at the front, but we've done the rear, done the door handles. I've had a look on Google Images, and the real Humber Hawks did have this in chrome. This rear bonnet, number plate, top, etc. What I've been using is a Malto pen, and what I've done is I've unscrewed it, because this one's had it, and it used to dump loads of chrome, but as you can see, that is not a bad thing in this case now, because it's dumped it exactly where I need it. So we can proceed. Okay, the detailing's done on our Humber Hawk now, as you can see. Lights, indicators, chrome on the bonnet there, same at the rear. So it's time to get the base on. Just get a bit of super glue and drop it down the holes. So that's super gluing. Now this is a firm click. There we go. In with the rivets. And just leave that a few minutes to take hold. Now I've done some decals. Obviously the luxury of a few spares. I've already cut some out. No point in cutting them out if you don't think you'll need them. That is the PC49 for the front number plate. That's at the limit, really, of what you can do on an inkjet printer. So we'll be getting those on in a few seconds. So here we go with the decals, and I've got a black Sharpie marker pen just to do the edges, or the white will show. Still might. You've got to take the precautions. So I'll do that on each one. Of course, luxury of it being black is you can always just touch the white bits up. They do show with the marker pen, etc. Now I've been on hold here now. This has been left for a while. I chose something simple, what I thought was simple. The paint isn't as good as I was hoping for, but being away, I haven't had time to repaint, so forgive me on this one, if you will. I did use a different primer, and I don't think that's been brilliant for me. Right, here we go. First police sign. So here we go with the first one. Got water under there. That looks okay. On with the next one. I think I'll do the number plate next. Here we go with the number plate. It's gone well first time. Now we can move to front number plate, which is really minute. Here we go. And that hasn't gone according to plan. Just to recover that. Yeah, it looks okay. So we've just got the rear police sign to put on. I won't show you that. You see me do one, and we've just got the aerial to push in. Okay, all our decals are on. It's just a matter of pushing the aerial in. It's a snug fit, so there's no need for glue. And the next time you see our little Humber Hawk, it will be on the turntable. Gonna just try and give it a polish. As I said, I'm not entirely happy with the paint, but it is what it is, and I do have to get a video out this week. Don't want to disappoint anyone. So see you in a minute. This is what we started with. Heavily play worn, previously restored Humber Hawk. Heavily chipped, nonetheless a good looking model and no real structural damage etc. to it, as in all the bumpers are still on, not been worn away, bent in, etc. Anyway, let's see how we got on, shall we? Because here it is now. Here is our Humber Hawk, finished. Dinky number 256, the police car. I'm sorry there's no interior. It did catch me on the hop a bit, and I was away on holiday, so I didn't have time to source any parts or replace this model with something else. The paint's been difficult on this. I used a different primer and I'm not quite sure what happened. So I've had quite a bit of touching up to do, but I think you'll agree it's all gone well in the end. Now, the real Humber Hawk was produced between 1945 and 67 in various body styles in the UK and Australia. This particular one is the Mark IV Saloon, produced between 57 and 67, with a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder engine and a 4-speed manual gearbox. And in the day, it sort of held in the class of Jaguars, etc. So it was a really smart car to have and to own. I do hope you've enjoyed this video and this restoration, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the channel for another restoration. Thank you for now, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So here's the first one. Oops. Wait. That hasn't gone to plan.